In this video, we are going to talk about task scheduling algorithms in cloud, right? When we have a lot of tasks at a time coming to the cloud, right? So, how does the cloud allocate virtual machines? Because every task what we give as give to the cloud computing, it executes it in a virtual machine, right? So, how is that happening in the cloud? Let's understand that. Task scheduling problem is one of the most critical issues in cloud computing environment because cloud performance depends mainly on it. The way you assign the task to allocate the resources, right, plays the game for the performance. Task scheduling algorithms are defined as the mechanism used to select the resources to execute the tasks to get less waiting and execution time. So, when some tasks are coming automatically, right, when the tasks are coming, how should I allocate the resources? This is T1, this is T2, T3 and T4. So, which one should I allocate resources first? If you have some scheduling mechanism, then in that case you can achieve very good execution time. It means very less execution time and very less waiting time also, right. So, this is very similar to the concept of scheduling algorithms in operating system. Okay. So, what benefits do we get with these task scheduling algorithms? So, we can manage the cloud computing performance and quality of service like performance, response time, throughput, all those parameters, right. Manage the memory and CPU. You can effectively manage the memory because you are scheduling it properly. Improving fairness for all the tasks. So, you are giving equal importance to all the tasks. You are not giving priority to someone coming from a bigger organization, right. Increasing the number of successful completed tasks. So, by effectively organizing the task properly, you can complete more number of tasks in very less time. Scheduling tasks on a real time system, right, and then achieving a high system throughput, and finally improving load balance, right. So, all these benefits you will get if you are properly handling the tasks or properly allocating the resources for the cloud for the services which are coming to the cloud, right. So, in cloud computing we have 6 different task scheduling algorithms. The first one is immediate. Immediate scheduling means when a new task arrive, they are scheduled to virtual machines directly, immediately. Okay. The second one is batch. Tasks are grouped into batch before being sent. Okay. So, we will get all the tasks coming, we will hold it for some time, then we will make them batches and we will send one by one. This type is also called as mapping events, right. And then we will talk about preemptive and non-preemptive, right. So, preemptive, non-preemptive we already know in operating system, right. In preemptive scheduling, each task is interrupted during execution and can be moved to another resource to complete the execution. In non-preemptive, it is very strict. We will not deallocate the resources. We will complete that task, then only we will give it to some other task, right. So, virtual machines are not reallocated to a new task until finishing the execution of the scheduled task. This is preemptive and non-preemptive. Then we have static and dynamic, right. In static scheduling, it is based on prior information of the global state of the system. Okay. It does not take into account the current state of virtual machines. Whatever is the current state of virtual machines, that will not be taken into consideration. Let us say I have already allocated some 20 virtual machines. It is already increasing load in the server. Then when a new request comes, if I am allocating one more, right, we are by default allocating one more, that is static scheduling. We are not taking into consideration about the current state of VMs. Okay, we are not looking after that. We are simply allocating one more new virtual machine. Whether there is a load or not, we are least bothered. That is static scheduling, right. It does not take into account the current state of virtual machines and then divides all traffic equivalently among all VMs. So, there were 20, 21 is created and the traffic is given equally to all the virtual machines, right. Using some round robin algorithm or random scheduling algorithm, we will be giving task to these virtual machines. Whereas in dynamic scheduling, here we take into account the current state of VMs and we do not need any prior information about the global state of the system, right. So, and distribute the task according to the capacity of available VMs. Only based on the capacity of the virtual machines we are allocating, we are knowing the state If there is more load, we are not assigning any tasks to the virtual machines, right. So, this is about static and dynamic task scheduling. So, if you see here, this is an example to understand how tasks are allocated. Basically, there are three levels in task scheduling algorithms: task level, scheduling level, and VM level. So, multiple tasks are coming, right. I have to have a proper mechanism here, the proper mechanism scheduling algorithm, so that these VMs can be utilized for completing these tasks, right. So, the task scheduling system in cloud computing passes through three levels. The first task level is a set of tasks that is sent by cloud users like us. We are giving some tasks to the cloud, okay, which we want the cloud to execute them. The second is the scheduling level. The second level is the scheduling level. This is responsible for mapping tasks to suitable resources. So, the algorithm's job is to map this task to a appropriate virtual machine based on the requirement and based on the capacity of the virtual machine, right. So, to get highest resource utilization with minimum make span. What is make span? It is the overall completion time for all tasks from the beginning to the end. So, we want to have very less make span, so that the time taken for the task to complete is very, very less, right. And the third level is the VMs level. So, it is nothing but a set of virtual machines which are used to execute the tasks, right. So, these are the three different levels in a task scheduling system in the cloud, right. So, this is about task scheduling algorithms.